Okay. Can you sit over there?
Oh, no.
She says she'll be very quiet. Come on, sit down. She's in perfect meditation position.
Mm-hmm.
Class attendance position. Hi, everybody. I had two topics to talk about. I try to relate everything I talk about to me, because I'm the only one who knows me. And it helps, I think, on an existential basis. If you hear somebody tell you what they've been through, and it gives you an idea of what you could expect, and not to get worried or something like that if certain kinds of things happen to you. So I'm going to start by describing who I am right now. There's a vast emptiness all around me and inside of me. And by invisible, I mean, there are no boundaries anywhere. Anywhere I look, there's no boundary, not the walls, not the tree across the street. It's just one big, vast, empty state. And as I moved my attention to my body, my body becomes like a mountain. When my attention is on it, it becomes very fixed. And it would take an earthquake of big magnitude to get me to move. I feel incredibly relaxed inside. I've never had this before in my life until I took up meditation. I feel full of energy all over my body and even extends to the area around me. There's no objects I pay any attention to. And most of all, I just feel myself. And by that, I close my eyes and turn my attention around into myself. And by that, I imagine looking from the space inside my heart. That is, I reside in that space around my heart. And my beingness extends everywhere. And I'm happy as a fucking lark, whatever that is. What's a lark? Anyway, I am really endlessly happy now. I could never have said that until the last 3 or 4 years. My mind is pretty silent because it knows that I don't like it talking too much. I can see the mind perfectly. I can see it almost as if it were an entity, like a cloud sitting in me and around me, a cloud of energy. The energy is very powerful and fixed. My body feels like a mountain, not moving, very strong, quite large. And as I look into my body, I feel the energy so strongly that it almost stops me from speaking because all that I want to do is rest in the pleasure it gives me to be aware of myself and immersed in myself. Now, what do I mean by self? I was a monk for many years. I heard about the self all the time. Many different Zen centers and other kinds of centers, they talked about the self. I figured, well, how do I find myself? And I cleverly thought by closing my eyes and looking within and using my inner vision to probe the depths of me, my experience of me. But when I do that now, I feel so ecstatic. And everything is still. And I'm as large as many mountains, or even the entire earth. And I'm still. And I have this almost bursting energy inside of me all over the body. And it moves in. That's what I call observing the self, because it's like an entity that comes into my body and starts functioning. And the way this entity can come into my body is by me sitting in meditation, being very still and yet open enough so that I can feel the totality of my presence. Now, I don't read books anymore. Been there, done that. I don't do formal meditation anymore because it seems I'm almost always in meditation. I'm always aware of this vast emptiness around me and in me. And this experience also kind of cuts me off from my brain cells and speaking. It's really difficult to speak and be in meditation at the same time. I much prefer stopping talking and just being in it. And when I shut up and acquire total vision, it's not really a vision, it's a feeling and a vision put together, sense of me, that object that came into me. Could be almost like a ghost, but it's not. It's me. It's me in a very primitive sort of way. Now I turn my vision inside, close my eyes, and I see light all over inside of me. It used to be more like a sunburst, but now it's like a billboard that's come down. And in the state, I feel as if I can see and do anything. And my body is pinging with all this fantastic energy that's not moving, it's still. It's a bit like being on the edge of a continuous orgasm that involves everything: my brain, my inner life, my body. I look at my body now. I almost want to cry. I say, you poor thing, you've been through so much. Thank you for your service to me. If it's not you, I'm not the body. The body is my ship, but I'm the captain. And then I just stay there. And I feel powerful bliss all over my body. It dances through my muscles, especially my back, my shoulders, my arms and hands. I can feel tons of energies coming out of my hands. That's why I used to practice healing. I never made a profession of it, though. It doesn't work that well. Okay, now I'd like to ask, does anybody have any questions about specifics that I have in my experience? And then we'll launch into the regular satsang.
Hi, Edji.
Is
I have a question. Or uh, so, first of all, I apologize if this is a semantical uh, statement or whatever. But when you say that you don't do formal meditation anymore, um, it depends what you mean. I think it depends what you mean by meditation. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if when you close your eyes and relax and go deeper into the state that you're continuously in, I would call that meditation.
Well, it happens almost all the whole day that I'll be in this state. So it's hard to call it a separate meditation because this is the way I always am now. I'm big and and transparent, and a lot of almost explosive energy in my body that's yet calm. It's not something I could have tolerated 30 years ago. It's only through sitting through the worst kinds of conditions over the years that I'm able to meditate even without doing anything formal, because I'm always in it. It's like I'm in two worlds. The outer world, which is you guys, and my inner world, which is the universe. It's open, it's flowing, it's gigantic, and it's focused down on this scrummy little body in order to talk to you about how great the experience is of knowing God firsthand. I say God, but you can call it anything you want. Look, duck, call it Jay, call it Brenda, call it Adam. I had a dream about you, Adam. I'm not going to tell you. You'll always wonder about what was the dream about. Okay, that's me. I'm always trying to figure out how to get people to practice meditation, because it's absolutely important to practice meditation in order to feel and experience directly what the masters feel all the time. And through the silence of the mind, the self grows very powerful and very light and very, very energetic and very, very blissful. Now I lost my line, what I was talking about, so screw it. Anybody else have a last question before I move on? You too can have these experiences. You only need to spend 50 years in meditation and take a few courses from a few masters all over the world. No big deal. Okay. I forgot the two topics I was going to. I've been spending an hour, 2 hours prior to now formulating what I'm going to say, and all of a sudden I can't say shit. Well, I can say shit, but I can't recall what I was going to say. Remind me. Jay, tell me what I was going to say.
Shit. That's all I can come up with.
What? I didn't hear it.
I just said shit is all I can come up with.
Okay. Do you want to go deeper into the shit answer? You mean like full shit, or you're full of shit?
Alternate shit. I get in trouble when I do that. I regret the last satsang when I digressed into the AI button, thing at the bottom of the page. So I'm trying to. My joy is that almost anywhere you go in your being the conduit of love and a confluence of love just explodes me. So I'm just going to say that somewhere in the last 15 minutes, I was somewhere else, and it was exquisite. So I just find it, just not. And as you said, the last satsang, don't necessarily try to make it perfect or call it perfect. Whatever it is, that moment is, its amness is just everything that it is in the moment, and perfect isn't necessarily a pejorative, but it doesn't have to be perfect. It could be shit in the moment, and there's still something about the moment that resonates through you and because of you with absolute grace here. So for that, I thank you and I love you. You know that.
Hello, Edji, it's Claudine. Hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, you're there. Okay. Yes.
I think when you were talking earlier, you mentioned going into the heart, particularly, which you don't always say, but it caught my attention.
I almost always
Sorry?
start with the heart. I almost always start with the heart.
Okay.
And
Yes, I mean that would be where I would start as well. But then I'm wondering if there are pains in different parts of your body which are connected with a different, like if you've got pains all around the lower half, then it must be connected with the root or the.
Did you say pain?
Yeah, discomfort. If you've got
No,
discomfort.
none. No, none.
No, not you, but I mean, if somebody has, if I've got pains, would I then go down to the root chakra or the sacral, go around that area because it's the ones nearest where the body's having an issue?
No,
Not particularly.
no, not at all.
Not at all.
The life after many years of meditation is totally different to life before. You're not human anymore, really. You become something else. The most pressing thing in me is always feeling like I'm in the middle of an ocean of sentience that is everywhere and is in everybody's heart and mind. And it's almost like I can read them, but I really can't because I have no way to confirm what I'm experiencing. And I just feel happy, happy, happy. A happiness like I've never experienced before, because all the happinesses before were because something was working in the world, like I got something or I made something. I felt I was successful at doing something and it involved the external world, but this does not involve the external world at all. It's just me, and I'm everything. Everything. Everything in the world. I am. And at the same time, I'm in my body here, being roasted by these blissful energies and trying to talk to you, make some sense out of what I'm saying, or to get a feel of what I'm saying, like Jay does.
So what I said, I was trying to change something or make something happen by the way I was talking, really, instead of what you said, I think.
Don't try to change it, just watch it.
Yeah.
Let it permeate you. That's a two-step program because it's like it's a separate entity from you and you have to let it into you. But that's a mental trick. You're actually always there inside your body and inside the world. But it appears sometimes that you're not paying much attention to your body or the external world. But there is such happiness in this state because I don't think about anything. I just sit in this wonderful bliss. And as I sit, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that ebbs, goes away until I'm nearly back to normal. But it was worth it. It was worth the 50 years.
Thank you.
The other thing is, I'm no longer fooled by the world. And it's so hard to explain this one. But there's nothing that surprises me in the world anymore. Everything seems like my front door. It's very familiar. No matter what's happening with my body or the world around me, it's very comfortable because it's happening inside to me and rendering me nearly unconscious with bliss. And I don't yearn for the bliss. I don't even try to go after it because it's there almost all the time, at least lightly. And I can get it more intense just by focusing my attention on this self of mine. That's another thing. When I searched and found myself was like an entity. It was an energy associated with kind of mental stillness. And it was very intense energy. And the energy was like organic energy, not something you'd get from a machine. And it massages me inside, like my heart is massaged. And I'm very happy. I'm very happy because I don't have to work anymore, too. All I have to do is talk to a few people every week, and my job is finished. Any questions at this point?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
First of all, Edgy, I just want to give you some kind words of appreciation. I know firsthand just how impossible your job is in explaining these matters. And it's how do you communicate what truth is or what freedom is or what peace is? You know, it's words are like cartoon cutouts that, you know, are ridiculously crude, and you're talking about something which comes before language, comes before all distinctions, comes from the unity of the self, which comes prior to all the appearances that we experience or whatever. But okay, so I said that, but I do have a question. You touched on last time, I believe, about I asked you, you know, a frequent thing that others say is that they flip-flop between deep states of beingness, which they go into meditation, and then they quickly come out of it when they leave meditation, and the integrating of the two seems to be a stumbling block. Now, I know that ideally it evolves over time and it takes care of itself, but there are also ways that somebody on this path could be getting in the way of themselves without realizing it. So you talked about one prong was meditation, another prong was truth or reality, and looking at reality in one's, like during one's regular activities, inquiring in a certain way in order to help the beingness be more continuous or not be confined to meditation practice. Do you have anything you'd like to say about that?
Was there a question in there?
Yeah.
What was the
So,
question?
okay, I'll try to make it more concise. So rather than the flip-flopping that many talk about between, and that I used to experience, between going to deep beingness during meditation and then being being apparently cast out of beingness after meditation or in daily life. You have anything that you can talk about how that may be helped?
I didn't know it needed help.
Okay. Because you touched
Uh,
on it in a previous talk.
What did I
Briefly.
say?
You said going into beingness like meditation is one prong of the practice. There are other factors that, like there are other aspects that can help.
Don't listen to me.
Okay.
You'll just be confused. I communicate my experiences and try to
Okay.
put them into words that can be, but really all my words miss the point. They're nowhere near what the experience is really like. You know that.
Yeah,
You got that experience.
I got the experience, but I don't have your gift of communicating like you do.
Work on
The
it.
two, yeah, well, I have, and I've gotten lots better. But
Are
the
you teaching
two,
now yourself?
as much as I can, informally. Yeah, informally. Like I said, over the last year and a half, I've deepened a lot. And it's been with a lot of hardships and a lot of difficult times, as well as very, anyway, confronting the parts of ourselves that we like to avoid or that we like to rationalize away or that we like to pretend that isn't there is necessary at some point if it's still hanging around. So I discovered that, and I've worked through much of it to my benefit, because I'm much deeper than I was a year ago. So that's it.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. It always did, but it's much, it's like probably twice as deep as it used to be, and it's pretty much continuous.
Does the self in you announce itself strongly that it's there and you recognize it? The you-ness in you? It's
Yeah,
hard to.
it's very palpable and vivid, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Okay.
Like right now, I feel like I'm like a furnace or something, giving off radiation of
Yes.
spiritual energy.
Yes. That's it. And when you're in a room with the same people and you sit, let's say not in meditation, but in a period of communion, you just sit there in silence and be there with each other. I wouldn't be looking around at a lot. You get distracted because the power comes in with sitting together, practicing the meditation at the same time. It reinforces and somehow adds to my own energy, for example, while I'm meditating. If I do it in a group, it's different than if I do it alone. When I do it alone, basic experiences of vast emptiness. If I do it with people, it's more an experience of love. But it's entirely worth 50 years because I can talk about it, and who else can talk about their own experiences and have anybody listen? After you found yourself, and it becomes palpable to you. Sitting changes. It's no longer there to get something done, like enlightenment. But it's there just to have the wonderful experience of your own self with all of the energies and different kinds of positions and the physical things that happen, the mental things that happen. But I think for the usual mature meditator, the experience of a vast emptiness is always nearby somewhere. And also one's experience of one's own self as a body. You don't look upon your body as an object because you are the object. And you are like every pimple in your body is you. You feel everything in your body. And most of all, you feel so goddamn happy. All you want to do is shut the fuck up and enjoy the intensity of the rest you're given by going inside and not paying attention to the outside. That's the biggest change in the world for a spiritual person, is to stop thinking about himself in his daily situation, like we all do. But instead, go inside. And it's hard to tell you how to go inside. You just have to learn how to do it. But sitting like this, you just gradually close your eyes. Leave them half open so you don't go to sleep. And feel yourself, the entirety of your body. And when I was first doing this, my attention caused such remarkable bliss that after a while, I didn't have to move to different parts of the body to do samadhi on them to find out what the totality was like. I was always immediately grasped by the totality of the separation from me, from my body, and both of us from the infinite. And I can feel the infinite and see the infinite, and it is us. It is us. And Vesselina's cat. Okay. Now how to start. I forgot where I was. Why don't you all shut the fuck up and join me in beauteous meditation? And I will try to send out a shitload of meditation energy, and maybe Mark will do it too. We'll double team you. Okay, ready, get set, go. Just close your eyes. And with your imagination, look inside your body. Because it's not imagination after you develop the third eye. It's a vision. And it's real. And it feels parts of you that you don't normally feel in everyday life. Like the energy and the power. It's so vast. I couldn't have stood this kind of thing 30 years ago. because my body has been almost trained constantly to sit in meditation and be still in meditation. But the intensity of everything in this state is somewhat like being at the front line of a war, or the front line of a car racing track, or something tremendously powerful is going on somewhere. And you're not part of it, and you are at the same time. It's hard to explain. You can feel the power in somebody else, but I'm getting confused now. I don't know what's going on. I think I'll shut the fuck up and confuse you, not more. No more. I'll tell you, I left home when I was 25, I think. And I was determined to become enlightened. I had been working in libraries, university libraries, as security, because I didn't want a job that required a lot of attention. And in this job I could just walk around and pay attention, or pay attention to me, or sit and practice meditation. But immediately I went around visiting various Buddhas to feel what they were like. Jianan, all the swamis back in those days, Buddhists, other kinds of religion too. The Dalai Lama was there, often comes there. So we got to meet a lot of robed people. And I was always wondering, what are they feeling? What is their world like inside? Has it changed since before? But it changed me. It changed me. But walking around and meeting various teachers is not the way to do it. The way to do it is to insist to yourself that yourself be the full measure of whatever you are in your experience. So sometimes when I have a powerful bliss experience, I'll ignore my body altogether, like it's not there, and just go into bliss as long as it lasts. But other times, meditation and not being in meditation are the same. The same world I see. Infinite, huge, and our world is in the middle of it. And it extends far out, way beyond my ken, this state that I'm in. It's felt by other people, and they can experience what I experience. Is anybody feeling bliss? Vasilina, why aren't you feeling bliss? What's the matter with you?
I don't know, but I don't feel bad, so it's
Okay.
not bliss, but
It wasn't really a question. It was a joke. My body is beginning to vibrate. All my insides feel very fragile. I don't want to be touched. But my body's shaking now. Tremor is the result with the opening of the full canopy of existence that I'm in. And right now, the power of the state is not easy to contain. Feel the power within yourself. Feel the universe around you and the emptiness of the entirety. It's like it both exists and doesn't exist at the same time. But catch yourself feeling like you're floating somewhere. You don't really want to talk at all because you would spoil the state of peace and bliss that you have. At least you think you would. By this time, you should be deep enough into yourself that you feel the immense pleasure of all of the energies in your body.
This can go on, but I have to go, and I love you all. So I'm going to say, Edgy, I love you. Thank you.
An hour and 20 minutes, well, like that. Hour and 20 minutes. The special thing about the experience of meditation is that it revives any feelings you may have had before, which were near meditation like. And now you feel what the whole thing is like. Before, you just have it as an experience you'd have once in a while. But now it's yours almost all the time. When you're all going out, you're going all out to feel the full experience of the emptiness and the power at the same time. That you don't want to let go. But after an hour, 2 hours, you feel so special. That even just feeling your body for the taste of bliss that gives you is something you never would have thought you would do. You know, energy and rest, along with strength, spreads all through your body and around you, into the walls, through the windows. And at this place would spread that far. The experience itself it will seem like it's the only way your body or you can possibly be. There's no other way. So there's a strong recognition that somehow your divine self will experience and lead you into a deep samadhi. But to me, for example, to talk about the self in this manner is itself very pleasant. The experience that you have will be of yourself will be far different than it is now. that bundle of energies in life that you feel now enter you so easily and stay so easily. But after a while, the state will go all away. But you'll still be there in a sense. And when you meet people, and your energies begin to match, it's such a mighty experience that it fills you with bliss, fills you with happiness, quietude. And a still presence always there. Oh, it's beginning to lift now. It's really not moving at all. And I feel a little bit like I had a restless body. And the experience of yourself in your body will remain a state that you're in more and more of your time. Okay. I hope you've had a little of the experience of talking about. It's good to have little sips of them, of what it's like. So it's easier to give out and even to maintain inside of you this state and this energy state going on inside of me without any movement. Okay. I love you all. Please come next week. Bring a question. Unless trying to figure out a question feels like a colossal waste of time. Take care. Bye-bye.